Today, everyone, the Javier and classmates, my report is a continuation of legal basis of foundations of education. The topics assigned to me is about the rights of school personnel and the rights of the school employees. So let's have first the rights of all school personnels under Section 10, and the rights and the special rights or privileges of teaching or academic staff under Section 11 of the legal basis. So let's have the overview of the Section 10. School personnels are free of expressions of opinions and suggestions, meaning this refers to fundamental rights of an individual to share their thoughts, ideas, and recommendations without fear of reprisal. Next is the legal basis. When we say legal basis is to be provided with free legal service by the appropriate government office in case of public school personnel and the authorities concerned in case of private school personnel when in charge in administrative, civil, and or criminal proceedings by parties other than the school authorities concerned for actions committed directly in the lawful discharge of professional duties and or in defense of school policies. Under this is teachers, school personnel are entitled of a certain legal protection and rights based on the legal framework. And these rights and protections are designed to ensure fair treatment, job security, and the ability to carry out their educational duties effectively. Next is the balance of interests. The provisions strike a delicate balance between employee rights and the needs of the institution. Establish, join, maintain labor organization of their choice to promote their welfare and defend their interests. It means that we need to weigh and harmonize the various stakeholders' interests and needs within the education system. We all know that education is a complex field with multiple factors and interests involved, including students, parents, teachers, administrators, and policymakers. And this balancing the interest or the balance of interest is essential to ensure the provision of quality education that serves both individual and societal goals. Next is the this one is to be free from involuntary contribution, except those imposed by their own organization. It means that we have a choice and freedom on which organization we will join, and we have the rights to refuse on involuntary contributions that are not imposed by the organizations that we've joined. Okay, next is the rights of school employees or school personals. First is the collective bargaining. School employees have the right to engage in collective bargaining negotiations to achieve better working conditions and wages. Ano ba tong collective bargaining na to? So, this collective bargaining means that it is a process by employees which are typically represented by a labor union or another labor organization to negotiate with their employees or employers regarding various aspects of their employment conditions and terms of work. The process is based on the principle that employees, through their representative, have a right to negotiate for fair and equitable treatment in a workplace. So, example of this is a scenario of collective bargaining is negotiating teacher contracts in a school district. So, ano ba yung mga parties involved dito sa negotiation about teachers contract? First, is the teachers union. Yung teachers union, sila yung nagre-represent sa teacher sa isang school district. The next is the school district, which is responsible for the operation of the public schools in a certain district. The number three is, pangatlo, dun sa parties involved sa collective bargaining process is the teachers or the educators that are working. So, ano daw yung example ng issues na negotiate dito sa collective bargaining? First is the salary and compensation. Next is the working hours and class size. Three, the professional development. Four, the healthcare benefits. Five is the evaluation and tenureship of a teacher. So, sa collective bargaining process about negotiating teachers' contract in a school district, syempre yung una is the preparation. Yung preparation is wherein the teachers union gather and spec its members to identify their priorities and concerns. So dito nagagather pa lang ng information kung ano yung mga concerns ng teachers and mga dapat i-priorities. Next is the negotiation, yung meetings of teachers union representative, then the school district, wherein they will present their proposals, discussing each point and potentially making counter offers. Then the third one is the mediation. So papasok pa lang dito kapag yung papasok lang tong mediation na tinatawag kapag yung negotiations reach an impasse wherein no progress is possible because of disagreement. So for example, hindi mag-agree si school district saka si teacher doon sa o the teachers union doon sa isang ah, ipine-present nila na agreement. So itong si mediation, papasok lang to help facilitate the discussion doon sa collective bargaining. Then the next one, dito sa collective bargaining is yung after the revisions and negotiation is the agreement wherein the two parties reach agreement on terms of the new collective bargaining agreements. Ibig sabihin, dito na na-reach yung point na nag-revise na ng mga agreements, nakapag-negotiate na ng maayos. So, meron na silang proposed agreement. Then the second one is, the fifth one is the ratification. Yung ratification, ito yung proposed agreement na presented ng isang union membership for a vote. So, meron silang agreement na pinagbotohan and kung majority ng teachers involved ay approve yung agreement na yon, become it becomes binding. So, the next one will be implementation. Ito yung agreed terms that are implemented in the school district. The last one is the ongoing monitoring. So ongoing monitoring, throughout this time, both parties continue to work together to ensure compliance with the agreement and address any issues that may arise. So yung in example ko about uh, teachers collective bargaining scenario about negotiating teacher contract in a school district. This scenario illustrates how can How can collective bargaining agreement address various concerns of a school employee such as fair compensation, working conditions, professional development, and evaluation process? So the CVA means or the collective bargaining is a collaborative process rather aimed at achieving a balance between the interests of teachers and the needs of the school district to provide a quality education. So the second one under the rights of school personnel is the freedom of association. School employees are free to join unions and other professional organizations to further their interests and advance their careers. About freedom of association, this one is rooted in principles of a democratic participation and individual rights. It fosters a sense of community, allows stakeholders to collaborate, and provides a platform for improvements in education system. So, examples niyan is yung students organization, teachers union, PTAs, then professional association. Dito sa Philippines, um, we call it PAFTE, the Philippine Association for Teachers Education. So, isa yan sa mga malalaking organization ng teachers. Then the third one is the due process protections, wherein school employees have the right to a fair hearing and impartial review when it comes to disciplinary actions and terminations and other employment decisions. So, hindi naman basta-basta pag sinabing merong disciplinary action si teacher, ah, tatanggalin agad siya sa trabaho, di ba? So, hindi. So, kailangan naharap muna sa due process si teacher. So, meron tinatawag na due process protection. So, hindi lang si teacher, lahat din, it's lahat ng school employees or under the school na empleyado ng school ay haharap sa isang tinatawag na due process when they face a disciplinary actions or termination or employment decision. Kung halimbawa dun sa mga mali off na school personnel, yung mga non-teaching, or sa teaching personnel, yung mga disciplinary actions, or yung termination of contract nila, hindi pwedeng agad-agad silang tatanggalin. So, meron tinatawag na fair hearing and impartial review under the due process protection para masiguro ah, na walang foul play doon sa pagtanggal kay teacher or pagtanggal sa isang school personnel when they face disciplinary action. So, kailangan lahat dadaan sa process. Okay, the next one is the fourth one is the non-discrimination. School employees are protected against discrimination on the basis of race, gender, sexual orientation, age, and other factors. Regarding this report, regarding this, rather, the rights of school employees, yung number 4 na non-discrimination. Singit ko lang yung report last time sa Social Foundations about marginalization and discrimination ni Miss Ana Safia. So, it contradicts to this law para sa akin because the rights, it contradicts to this law, rights of school employees, because as what Ma'am Sophia said, let us not sugarcoat at some point, we others experience discrimination, especially when it comes to race, gender, sexual orientation, age, and there are other factors na that we can consider na discriminate tayo bilang teacher or bilang school employees. So, for me, it contradicts yung rights ng isang school employees. If it is the right, for me, kung ito ay rights mo, um, how come that there are still, or there are some points na meron pa ring discrimination na nangyayari, right? So, let us not sugarcoat kasi nangyayari talaga tong discrimination na ito. Then the next one is, let us continue my report. Then the next one is the scope of coverage. So, who is covered of the Section 10? So, the Section 10 applies to all school personnel who are employed by public K-12 school districts. So, meaning to say, lahat ng school personnel na employed ng DepEd, ng public schools, are covered of the Section 10. Or, next is, what is covered? So the section covers a wide range of topics, including the collective bargaining rights, salary negotiations, and due process protection. Then when does it apply? The provisions of Section 10 applies to all or apply to all school personnel at all times, including during normal school hours, extracurricular activities, and off-campus events. So we have the protections against discrimination. So under Section 10, we have types of discrimination, prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, age, religion, and disability. We have the equality or the equal treatment, and this section ensures that all school personnel are treated fairly and given equal opportunities for employment and advancement. Then the diversity and inclusion. Section 10 promotes the importance of diversity and inclusion in the workplace by encouraging the recruitment and retention of a diverse staff. Then we have these collective bargaining rights, negotiations. First one is negotiations. School personnel have the right to engage in collective bargaining negotiations to achieve favorable working conditions and wages. So ito yung example ko kanina about school teacher, example scenario ko kanina yung negotiating teacher contracts in a school district. So meron tinatawag na CBA or CB, collective bargaining. Next is number 2. The second one is grievance procedure. The section outlines the procedures for resolving labor disputes, and filing grievances. So in the Philippines, grievance procedure in the education context are established to address and resolve disputes, complaints, or concerns that may arise among various stakeholders in the education system. These procedures aim to provide a fair and structured process for individuals or group to seek redress for perceived grievances related to education. There are uh, general grievance procedure in the Philippine context of education. So we have the identification of grievance, informal resolution, formal grievance filing, school level review, resolution and response, then escalation to higher authorities, then further review, final resolution, and appeal. In some cases, individual or group that are dissatisfied with the decision of educational authorities may have the right to appeal to the Department of Education sa DepEd or relevant governing bodies. Then, it is important to note that the specific grievance procedures may vary among educational institutions and regions in the Philippines. Additionally, sa DepEd, Department of Education may provide guidelines and regulations related to the grievance procedure to ensure consistency and fairness in addressing grievances within the education system. Siyempre, the stakeholders, including students, parents, teachers, and school personnel, should be familiar with the grievance procedure established by their respective educational institutions. Um, so, ano ba tong grievance na tinatawag na to? Kasi when we say grievance, it refers to a formal complaint, objection, or concern that are raised by an individual or group or organization regarding a real or perceived injustice, violation of rights, or unfair treatment. Grievances can arise in various contexts, including employment, education, legal matters, and interpersonal relationship, and they are typically expressed when someone believes they have been wronged or subjected to unfair or improper conduct. Example nitong grievance procedure is usually sa public school, di ba? We have this kind of PTA project. Sa PTA project, uh, we all know that not all our students or not all the families of our students are well off. So, meron dyan talagang some of them talaga are well off. Mabibilang mo lang talaga yung well off, yung talaga magbibigay ng bukal sa loob nila. Then, meron dyan talaga na magrereklamo at magrereklamo. Minsan nga, di ba, kung sino pa yung mga hindi nagbibigay, yung mga ayaw nila magbigay or ayaw nilang mag-contribute dun sa project, sila pa yung mga madadalas nagrereklamo. So, it happens na there is a teacher in a certain public school na nagpa-PTA project. So, si PTA project, medyo malaki yung halaga ni PTA project. Then, uh, yung parent, nag-complain siya diretso sa central office. So, sa central office, hindi niya syempre agad-agad ah, hindi niya syempre agad-agad sasagutin yung complaint ni parent regarding dun sa PTA contributions na yon. So, ang mangyayari niyan, dadaan muna sa procedure yung complaint ni parent. So, aalamin muna kung ano yung nangyari, bakit, saan nangyari, saang school nangyari, anong school ito nangyari, paano nangyari, at kailangan syempre, imi-meeting muna yung mga persons involved doon sa reklamo na yon. So, dadaan doon sa tinatawag na grievance procedure. So, bago bago magkaroon ng final resolution na tinatawag. Pero kasi in there are many grievances that can be resolved through open communication and dialogue. So, sana naayos din naman sa pag-uusap. The individual or group with the grievance may first discuss the issue with the relevant teacher, school administrator rather, or appropriate personnel. So, dadaan lang naman siya sa grievance procedure kapag ah, yung issue ay na-remain unsolved. So, hindi nasagot. So, still, meron pa rin due process na tinatawag. Next, number 3 is the mediation and arbitration. So, the mediation under Section 10 provides for the use of mediation and arbitration as alternative methods for resolving disputes. The mediation and arbitration rather, are alternative dispute resolution na tinatawag or the ADR mechanism that can be used in the Philippine education context to address the disputes and conflicts involving the rights of school personnel such as teachers, administrative staff, and this process provides a means of resolving issues without resorting to lengthy or costly court proceedings. So, meaning to say, this mediation is a voluntary confidential process in which a neutral third party called a mediator, yung sinasabi ko nga kanina, dun na papasok lang yung mediation or yung mediator to uh, para pumagitna doon sa disagreements ng dalawang parties involved. So, the mediator helps the parties in a dispute reach a mutually acceptable resolution. So, sa Philippine context of education or sa Philippine education context rather, mediation can be used for various issues involving school personnel, including grievances, workplace conflicts, and contractual disputes. Then, the arbitration naman na tinatawag is more formal process in which the parties submit their dispute to a neutral arbitrator or panel of arbitrators who make a binding decision after considering evidences and arguments from both sides. In the Philippine education context, arbitration can be used for contractual dispute, disciplinary matters, and other disputes involving the school personnel. So both mediation and arbitration offers advantages including confidentiality, speed, and flexibility in resolving disputes involving school personnel. These ADR methods can be used to address a wide range of issues, including employment-related matters, contractual disputes, and interpersonal conflicts within the educational institutions in the Philippines. Okay, next is the right to be free, special rights and or privileges of teaching or academic staff under Section 11. So we have the right to be free for compulsory assignment not related to their duties defined in their appointment or employment contracts unless compensated thereof. Additional compensation, Section 14 of RA 4670, at least 25% is regular remuneration. So we all know na we teaching staff, even if we exceeded sa 8 hours duty natin sa school, which is 6 hours street teaching, then 2 hours ancillary service, kahit mag-extend pa tayo dyan, hindi tayo binabayaran ng tinatawag na overtime pay. So, wala tayong nakukuhang overtime pay. Next is the right to intellectual property. Then, teachers are persons in authority when in lawful discharge of duties and responsibilities shall thereof be accorded due to or due respect and protection under Commonwealth Act number 578. When we say teachers are persons in authority, this means that ito ay inside lamang sa classroom. We are not persons of authority when we are outside the classroom and outside the school. Kasi persons of authority are those vested by the law. Meaning to say, sila yung mga police, sila yung uh, mga abogado, they are basta they are those persons of authority na tinatawag ay yung vested by the law. So tayo teachers, we are the persons of authority when we are inside the classroom or the school. So teachers are persons in authority when in lawful discharge of duties and responsibilities shall therefore be accorded due to respect and protection. So in the Philippine education context, under the Commonwealth Act number 578, also known as Teachers Protection Act, is a Philippine law that recognizes teachers as persons in authority when they are in lawful discharge of their duties and responsibilities. And this law rather aims to provide teachers with due respect and protection while carrying out their educational responsibilities. So sa Commonwealth Act number 578, uh, persons in authority, the law designates the teacher as a persons in authority while they are performing their official duties. This classification acknowledges the role of teachers as authority figures within the school setting. So kagaya nga ng sabi ko, we teachers are persons of authority rather kapag nasa loob lamang tayo ng school or in our classroom. Next is the due respect and protection. Teachers are entitled to due respect and protection from students, parents, and other individuals. This means that any form of disrespect, disobedience, or aggression toward a teacher while they are lawfully performing their duties may be subject to legal consequences. Third one is the act of disrespect or violence. Acts of disrespect or violence against a teacher may be considered such offense under this law. Such acts could lead to penalties, including fines or imprisonment, depending on the severity of the offense. Fourth one is the legal safeguards for teachers under Commonwealth Act number 578 that serves as a legal safeguard to ensure the safety and security of teachers in the educational environment. And this aims to deter acts of disrespect, disobedience, or violence against teachers. Duty to uphold discipline. Teachers have the responsibility to uphold discipline and maintain order in the classroom and school while exercising their authority. They should do so fairly and within the bounds of the law. Collaboration with authorities in cases where a teacher encounters disruptive or unlawful behavior from students or others. They may collaborate with school authorities such as principal and security personnel to address and resolve the situation. Next one is the reporting incidents, which teachers should report incidents of disrespect, disobedience, or violence to appropriate school authorities and, if necessary, to law enforcement agency for further investigation. So under Commonwealth Act number 578, it provides protection and recognition to teachers and also emphasizes the importance of teachers exercising their authority responsibly in the accordance of the law. We teachers are expected to maintain professionalism and fairness in their interactions with students and others in the school community. And this law underscores the significance of creating a safe and respectful learning environment in the Philippine schools, where both teachers and students can engage in effective teaching and learning without the fear of disrespect or violence. So, itong Commonwealth Act number 578 contradicts about the new law about the child protection program or the child protection policy. So, sa DepEd, child protection policy refers to programs, services, procedures, and structures that are intended to prevent and respond to abuse, neglect, exploitation, discrimination, and violence. So under the DepEd Order number 40 series of 2012, otherwise known as a DepEd Child Protection Policy, it contradicts this law, Commonwealth Act number 578. Why? Para sa akin kasi ah sabi, 'di ba? Due respect and protection. So the teachers are entitled to due respect and protection from students, parents, and other individuals. And this means that any form of disrespect, disobedience, or aggression towards a teacher while they are lawfully performing their duties may be subject to legal consequences. It contradicts the these rights and privileges of a teaching or academic staff under Section 11 contradicts the contradicts the new law of child protection policy. Bakit? Kasi under child protection policy, hindi mo pwedeng hindi mo pwedeng basta saktan ng bata. Minsan nga, masigawan mo lang yung bata, ano na eh, magagalit na agad yung magulang. So, hindi na na-exercise itong tinatawag na due respect and protection sa teacher. Kasi, meron ng mga bata, meron ng mga students na bumabastos na lang basta-basta sa teacher. Kung ano-ano mga sinasabi sa teacher. Then, kahit sabihin mo na pagsabihan ng teacher, na idaan sa guidance, na idaan sa principal, is still the behavior of the child, um, ganun pa din, hindi nagbabago. So, dahil nga merong child protection policy na tinatawag, hindi mo siya pwedeng basta-basta pagalitan, basta-basta masaktan, 'di ba? So, papasok pa rin diyan yung magulang pa rin ang kakausapin mo. So, regarding sa matter na yan, um, yung concern about sa bata, sa magulang pa rin babagsak. So, kung si parent, wala lang sa kanya yung mga pinagagagawa ng bata, yung pinagagawa ng anak niya, hindi rin masasolve yung o hindi rin maibibigay yung rights or privileges ng isang teacher about accorded respect and protection. Next one is teachers shall be given opportunity to choose career alternatives for advancement. Then we have the enforcement mechanism. First is the administrative procedures. The section lays out the administrative process or procedures and channels for addressing complaints, grievances, and disputes. The second is the judicial proceedings. In cases where administrative remedies are ineffective or not available, the section provides for the use of judicial proceedings to enforce the provisions of the law. And the third one is we call remedies. These sections outlines the possible remedies available to school personnel who prove that their rights have been violated, including monetary damages, injunctive relief, and reinstatement. So that's the end of my report, and I hope you learned something from me and from the topic that I discussed. And thank you for listening, everyone, and have a nice day.